recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivia Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivia Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You're like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
Aaron.
I haven't started cooking more, but I have started thinking about cooking more, so I've looked at a lot of recipes for things. Mostly cocktails.
Zakia.
I'm a very happy evil genius.
Yeah.
And Nick.
For all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
And the rest of the Trivia Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today with Carmela Smith. Hello, Carmela.
Hello, everyone.
I am excited to have you here today. Carmela,
Yes.
You didn't go to SporkleCon with us in Detroit.
I did not.
It was
very
so
sad.
disappointing because everybody wanted to see you and everybody loves you and we all wish you were there. However, this does give me a great opportunity to do some recycling. And I'm an environmentally conscious person, you know? And so I hosted a game at SporkleCon that was only ever heard by the people in the room. We didn't record it.
No.
And I'm going to host today's game, and this gives me the chance to recycle a lot of those questions and use them again.
Oh, good. So I finally get to hear your wonderfully crafted questions.
You get to hear my wonderfully something. But they're going to be great, and you're going to be great, and our guests are going to be great. And I want to introduce them right now. First up in the top right corner, Rob Cotter is with us today. Hello, Rob.
How's it going?
Rob, glad to have you here, man.
Glad to be here.
Michael Turner is with us today. Hello, Michael.
Hi, good morning. How's everyone doing?
Doing great. And Luke Leavenworth is with us today. Hello, Luke.
Howdy, everybody.
All right. I want to get to know each of you a little bit better. Rob, we're going to start with you. Please tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I'm living outside of Wilmington, North Carolina. I am a full-time IT trainer and a part-time trivia host. And something fun about myself, I get to go on my longest ever 9-night cruise to Canada and New England in about a month, so I'm excited.
Ooh. So where are the ports of call on this Canadian and New England cruise?
Your favorite place in the entire world, Boston, Massachusetts, is the first stop.
Well, they can't all be winners.
Portland, Maine, and then Halifax, St. John, and Sydney in Canada.
Oh, cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. And we're going to hit the foliage right in the right time. My wife, Kayla, has never been to Maine or Canada, so extra little
Awesome.
pins in the map.
Have you been on a lot of cruises, Rob?
I have been, yes. I've been on a lot of cruises. 61 nights total on cruises, so.
Wow.
Wow. What is the furthest you've ever been away from the mainland U.S. on a cruise?
It's been probably 7 nights, leaving like Puerto Rico and doing the entire Caribbean, but this will be my longest for 9, so.
That's beautiful. So you like staying around the U.S. You're not going on like Mediterranean cruises and stuff like that.
Eventually, I will, but me and my wife made a promise. Like, we've done like Bahamas and a lot, so like, all right, we either need to do a new ship or we need to do a new itinerary. So this is a new itinerary.
Love it. When are you going?
Middle of October, so we get all the leaf peepers.
Oh gosh, you might get to see some foliage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
definitely.
Gonna be
The map's
beautiful.
looking really good for middle of October. So.
I love it. Well, Rob, we're glad you're here. Thanks for joining us today. Michael, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hi, I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Still here, still directing television news shows for the local CBS affiliate. And something fun about myself, since the last time we've spoken, it's been a while. Last year, I actually won an award for said occupation. I was named South Carolina's Television Director of the Year.
Woo! That is fantastic.
Nice to have some validation after 20 years in an industry where you're rarely praised and highly. They don't talk about your good points. They talk about when you screw up.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's also newlywed Michael Turner. Is that
I do
correct?
have a piece of jewelry on the finger. One of these lovely people was at my wedding. Yeah, we had a great time. So that's actually why I didn't get to apply for Director of the Year this year. I was too busy putting the wedding together to put together a reel.
Priorities, man.
Yeah,
For happy home is way more important.
big time.
Oh, Michael, we are super glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. Luke, tell everybody where you're from, what you doing, something fun about yourself.
Hi, everybody. Luke Leavenworth, high school math teacher and administrator in a suburban Chicago public high school. I live in Gurnee, Illinois. And something fun about myself, I think we've all been on here a bunch of times, so struggling to come up with something new. I thought I was going to be partnering with former Atlanta Falcons running back Michael Turner, and apparently I am partnering with broadcasting legend Michael Turner, so I am more than excited to hear that. But I think something fresh and new is I am going to my first live wrestling show tonight. AEW All Out is in Chicago, and I will be sitting, not ringside, but close enough to ringside than I ever have before.
So
At least two of us will be watching.
Oh,
in general, you're a wrestling fan? I mean, do you watch regularly?
yeah, I do. I grew up during like the Monday Night Wars, and I was young enough where if I think my parents knew what I was watching, I probably wouldn't be watching it much, and then I kind of dipped away from it. And then in college, I roomed with a guy who has never not been into wrestling, and he had all the box sets, and we would do homework and just have old WrestleManias going. And I've been a pretty decent fan ever since. It's a good time. My kids are into it now, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, I hope you have a blast tonight. I think Rob and Michael are both nodding their heads. They're big wrestling guys. I'm a wrestling guy, and not to the extent that y'all are, because I can't keep up. But I think you just gained much credibility in this little group of folks here.
I'll take it.
And by the way, I think our Michael Turner hits the hole just as hard as the Atlanta Falcons' Michael Turner.
Wow.
That's how I got the ring.
Well. Mean adult.
Okay, I wasn't going there.
Living up to the DJ Dirty Mike.
Now, here's the dirty little secret about today's episode. Jonathan effed up. And that happens more often than you might imagine, because I'm not very good at what I do. But in this case, last year we did a Jacksonville Trivia Takeover in, of all places, Jacksonville. This is 2023. And every year we do a trivia event. It's not some giant thing, but all the people that were there, we put into teams, and we have somebody host, and the winner's prize is to come on the show. Well, this group of four, Carmela, Rob, Michael, and Luke, were the winning team last year, and somehow it slipped through the cracks, and we never got them on the show together to do an episode. So this is their Jacksonville 2023 Trivia Takeover Championship game.
Yeah, I've been waiting to come on the show, Jonathan.
I know,
It's been a lifelong dream of mine to be on Trivial Warfare, and I finally get to do it, and it makes me so happy.
We did this for Carmela. That was our goal, was to get Carmela on the show finally. So that's why we were so motivated to win.
I think that the fact that Carmela is a main host, and the fact that all of you are so polite, prevented the fact from me ever being reminded that we need to do this. I was so happy.
I have reminded you, but I understand.
You have? Oh God, that makes it worse. So mea culpa, but I am excited. I'm excited that you guys won, because that means this is going to be an amazing show. And we're going to get that amazing show started right now with Warm It Up Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
I get to play the part of Chris today because I'm hosting, and I was talking to Sarah last night about what I could do as a Warm It Up Chris, and she suggested dog breeds. And I love dogs. So I have the 2023 updated list of most popular dog breeds according to the registration statistics with the American Kennel Club.
Okay.
So I want you to give me dogs in the top 20. I have the list all the way down to 200. So, if you name a dog, I should be able to find it on this list if it exists. I'm going to ask you for the top 20 most registered dogs in 2023 with the American Kennel Club. All right? Rob, you're in the top right corner. That means we are going to start with you.
I'm going to go with my sister's and my dad's dog, a golden doodle.
A golden doodle is not an AKC purebred dog. Yeah, sorry. That is in fact a very fancy mutt. It's a good guess, though. I can see why you would guess it. They are the most expensive breed out there right now. Michael, we're going to you next.
I got to show some love to Air Bud, the golden retriever.
Golden retriever, number 3 on the list. Good job.
Lower than I thought it would be.
Yeah, right. Over to Luke.
I feel like I looked at this list recently, and I learned, I think, that a Labrador Retriever is different than a Golden Retriever, so I'm going to go with a Lab.
I can confirm that a Labrador Retriever is different than a Golden Retriever, and I can also confirm it is number 2 on this list.
There we go.
Carmela, your turn.
Gonna go with a dog I get to babysit in a few months. I'm gonna go with a Corgi.
Pembroke Welsh Corgi, number 11 on the list. Good job. All right, Rob, back up to you.
All right, purebreds. Let's go with a Jack Russell Terrier.
Jack Russell Terrier. Let's see here.
It's not in the top 20 then.
Nope, it's not.
There's a lot of Russells here, but the Russell Terrier is number 66.
Oh.
And they don't distinguish between Jack or not Jack.
Sorry, buddy, Nemo.
All right, Michael, over to you.
Shout out to my most hated college football team, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Are they truly your most hated?
Absolutely.
Why?
Like, even more than Clemson. And as a South Carolina grad, I just like to give my, I have a lot of Georgia friends. I like to give them a lot of crap.
Fair enough.
You know, they're like the new Alabama.
It's like for reasons, okay? Reasons.
Reasons,
yeah.
Jonathan.
Well, I don't know if the Georgia Bulldogs are on the list, but a Bulldog is number 7 on the list. Good job. Luke, over to you.
Are different versions of Bulldog on this list, Jonathan, or is Bulldog taking them all out, like different?
I can say that there are specific Bulldogs that are different from the English Bulldog.
Okay.
Which, when he says the Georgia Bulldogs, I'm giving him credit for English.
Yeah.
I understood. So I would like to say the French Bulldog.
The ugly little Frenchie, number 1 on the list.
Wow.
For at least the second year running, I believe. They are very popular, and I have no idea why.
Me neither. If a dog is not larger than a football, I don't think it qualifies as a dog.
All right, Carmela.
Let's go with a pug.
A pug. Oh, I'm scrolling. 36 on the list.
So close.
And as weird looking as they are and as unhealthy as they are.
They're strangely cute.
They are, but they're so unhealthy. I hope they slip further down the list. Those poor little guys. I've nothing against them except the fact that in their normal form, the way they've been designed, they cannot breathe successfully.
Truth.
Which seems like they also can't have babies a lot of times. It's a shame, the poor pugs. Rob, over to you.
Just going to keep going down family dogs. Let's go with the Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu is number 20 on the list. You're on the board. That's a good one.
Thank you, Holly.
All right, over to Michael.
You know, Paris Hilton was never cool, but perhaps her little dog was at one time. So I'll say a Chihuahua.
She can't be cool because she's hot.
I see what you did there.
It is the largest state in Mexico, but it is not in the top 20. It is number 32.
Okay.
32. Also a dog that needs to drop down the list. Not because they're unhealthy, just because they're irritating.
Chihuahua will stab you in the back alley.
Apparently. I didn't know I had so many opinions.
This episode is going to be high on the fan mail list, Jonathan, and I don't think for positive reasons.
Well, hey. But you never know. Some people might send in mail to agree with me.
Fair enough.
Usually not, though. All right, Luke, it's over to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like AKC dogs. What about like a standard poodle?
Standard poodle. Number 5 on the list. Good job. So far, you guys have knocked out number 1, 2, 3, and 5, 7, 11, and 20. So 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 are all still available. Carmela, over to you.
Let's try an American Pit Bull.
Not on the list.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've
not
had
on the
one.
list.
They're very sweet dogs.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know if they're AKC, if they're an AKC breed.
There's not like an American Bulldog on that list because that's the same thing.
Oh, it is? Well, then
Yeah,
let me
try
look for
American
that.
Bulldog.
I don't have American Bulldog on here. Not in the
Interesting.
top 200. When somebody, Sarah mentioned Pit Bull when we were going through them the other night. That's the only one that she missed out of the 10 guesses I gave her. Or we kind of came to the conclusion that most Pit Bulls aren't being registered. Even if they are, I mean, there's so many variations and versions that they're just not getting registered like that.
Oh, they're recognized by United Kennel Club and American Dog Breeders Association, but not by the AKC.
Oh,
That's
there
why
we
they're
go.
not on there.
I'm glad
They're
you
not
found that.
recognized. I'm like,
All
wait
right.
a minute.
Yeah. Rob, over to you.
Let's go with a border collie.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
A border collie. I love border collies. They're
smart
beautiful.
dogs.
Number 31 on the list.
You hate to see it.
You do hate to see it. All right, Michael, over to you.
Let's try the Siberian Husky.
I'm not fat. I'm husky, but I'm number 24 on the list. 24.
Just a bit outside.
All right. Luke, over to you.
All right, now we'll go family dogs. We have a wonderful dog named Glenn Coco, named after the very niche Mean Girls character. He is part Mastiff, so let's say Mastiff. And if you need me to be more specific, I can be more specific.
You don't need to be more specific. A Mastiff is number 38 on the list.
Oh, it's too far off the list. He's awesome.
Too far, not quite there. Mastiffs are huge, right?
Yeah, he's a mutt, so he's mixed in with, we think, some sort of shepherd. He's about 70 pounds and super skinny. So
Gotcha. All right. Carmela, your turn.
Was it a Maltese? Is that what the things are called?
There is a Maltese. Let's see where they are. They are number 37, right behind the pug. We are going to go through one more time around. Still number 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10, all available. There are some very popular dogs up here. You're going to know them.
Right.
Rob, you're up.
Let's go with German Shepherd.
Number 4 on the list, German Shepherd.
Nice job, Rob.
Well done. Michael, you're up.
Great Dane.
Great Dane. Giant dogs. Number 19 on the list. Well done. All right, Luke.
What about like the polar opposite of a Great Dane? Let's do like a Yorkshire Terrier.
Yorkie. Number 13 on the list. There we go. Y'all were
job.
saving your best answers for the last round. Carmela, finish us up.
Oh, I'm going to get it wrong.
It's very possible that you're going to get it right.
Doberman Pinscher?
Doberman Pinscher, number 15 on the list.
Woo!
Hey!
Shout out
You
to
guys-
Lauren.
You guys swept the last round. That was brilliant.
Properly warmed.
Let's see here. Yeah, I think y'all finally warmed up towards the end of it there. Let me tell you what you did not name. Number 6 was the Dachshund.
Okay.
Little wiener dog. Number 8 was the Beagle. Number 9 is a Rottweiler. Number 10 is a German short-haired pointer, which
Okay.
I don't know by name, but I'm sure it'll look familiar if we looked at it. Australian Shepherd at 12. King Charles Spaniel at 14. Doberman was the last guess. The Cane Corso is number 16.
Really?
Isn't that like a gigantic, fluffy white dog? I
They
wanna
are
see
really
it.
big
nickname in
dogs.
college.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's a very big black dog. Like
yeah.
if you made a
big-
thicker, stronger version of a Great Dane, maybe is what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm only familiar with the Lee Corso.
You just got to put a silly hat on the Cane Corso.
Right.
You're right there. Miniature Schnauzer was 17 and Boxer was 18.
Jonathan, I think you're thinking of a Malamute.
Am I?
Those are big, fluffy white dogs.
I want to see. There's a couple of them that showed up at Chris's trivia game over at Historically Hoppy on Wednesday nights in Jacksonville if you're in town. No, that looks like a husky. I mean, these dogs are very big. It's like you gave a golden retriever a bleach job and steroids and gave them 3 times as much hair. That's what
Newfoundland?
I was to say a Newfoundland sounds
Yeah.
probably closest to that.
A Newfie? Yeah, Newfoundland.
They're The pictures I'm seeing of Newfies are black, though.
Yeah, they
But if you were to make a white one of those, maybe in that family, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, guys, that is your Warm It Up, Chris, for the episode. Thank you so much. You did really good. And let's see. This is going to be episode number 498.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're so close.
We're so close. I'm recording 499 after this, and then the next recording is going to be 500. We're very excited about it. I don't know. I mean, 500. This is a long time. This is a long way. It's a long road. But
yeah, we're coming up on 10 years.
we are. But we are going to have a great time with this episode 498. We're on the main feed. If you like Trivial Warfare and you want to hear those first 200 episodes that you can't get anywhere else, be sure to go to trivialwarfarearmy.com, sign up as a sergeant or higher, and you can listen to everything we've ever done. And it is some really, really good stuff out there. Today's game, it's going to be Carmela and Rob versus Michael and Luke. Jonathan's hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
This game, like I said, is using a lot of questions. And I'm going to bring up things that happened at the live show at SporkleCon when I think of them sometimes. Rob Everett was our key contact with Sporkle. So he was in the back and he had a microphone in case he needed it for any reason. And he went ahead and pulled up the verbiage and did the whole read off in Ben's voice.
That's awesome.
For the game stuff. And everybody chanted along with him. So everybody in the room was doing it, but he was providing the strength of voice. It was a moment. It was brilliant. Shout out to Rob. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get this game started. Round 1, question 1. Your category is sports.
Sports.
And this comes to us from Ian Morrison.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you, Ian. In tennis, the Grand Slam consists of the French Open, Wimbledon, U.S. Open, and Australian Open. The U.S. and Australians are played on hard courts, while Wimbledon's on grass. What type of surface is the French Open played on?
Locked in.
All right. Luke and Michael are locked in. Carmela and Rob, you guys could talk out loud.
This is like the only thing that I know.
Yeah.
it's clay.
Yeah, Rafael Nadal is the king of the clay. It had been the king of the clay court forever, so it is clay.
Thank you, David Levesey, for teaching me that.
All right, you guys are saying clay. Michael and Luke, over to you.
I believe the venue is called Roland Garros. They play on clay.
They play on clay. The right answer is clay. Good job.
Woo. Mama named him Clay. I'm going to name him Clay.
All right, off to a hot start. Round 1, question 2. Your category is words, words, words. In an early episode of The West Wing, President Bartlett shares trivia that there are only 3 words in the English language that start with the letters DW. Now, this isn't really true. There's over 30. But the 3 he was asking for are probably the most used unique words with that start. Please give me all 3 words. And note that none of the words are derivations of any of the others. So it's not going to be like, here's the word and now pluralize it, or here's the word and now use past tense. It is 3 unique words.
I'm trying to think of the third one.
I mean, we have arrived at 3, Michael. I don't know if you've got any others. I'm cool to lock in if you are with those 3.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll lock in, Jonathan.
All right, Luke and Michael have locked in.
I believe the third word we're looking for is dweem. We're looking for dweem, a little dweem of me.
A dweem within a dweem.
Yeah. Dwell and dwindle.
Mm-hmm. And then everything else I'm thinking of are variations of those words.
Yeah, like not drabble.
Yeah.
SDR.
Damn it, Martin Sheen.
Sarah and I started watching The West Wing first season, and the first few episodes, he's just spitting trivia right and left. It's like, why are y'all just adding trivia in here for no reason?
Chris and Waco would get this immediately.
Yeah, that's what where's Chris when you need him?
Yeah, it was a gimme from Nick, too.
Chris put this on my list of shows to watch that I haven't knocked down any at all, and I think I might need to start.
Yeah. My YouTube, and it's like, oh, I see clips all the time.
Sure.
I don't know this third word, Rob.
Right.
I'm going to like DWA. Can't think of anything. I mean, there's dawdle, but that's DAW, I think. DWE, we already have dwell, but I can't think of anything else. DWI, DWO.
Got about 30 seconds.
DWU. It's like I'm playing Wordle. Yeah.
DWY. Hang ourselves out to Dwy. I don't think I'm going to get it, Rob.
Your
I don't
time
think
is
they're there. I
dwindling.
think it's DWA.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
No,
Spaghetti.
we just got dwindle and dwell.
Dwindle and dwell. Throw out one more word. You got 10 seconds.
Dwone.
Dwone.
Love and marriage.
All right. We have dwindle and dwell from Rob and Carmela, Luke and Michael. What did you guys say?
Dwindle was actually the third word that we came up with. That was the one that we were struggling with at first. Thankfully, Luke was very quick on the draw with the first two, which are dwell and the one you guys came up, unfortunately, a little short. We said dwarf.
Dwarf.
Name.
Yeah.
Down. And go down.
3 words that President Bartlett shared as the 3 words in the English language starting with DW are dwell, dwindle, and dwarf.
All right, Michael Turner.
Nice
Well
work.
done.
Good job.
Well job.
We left the word dweeb on the cutting room floor.
Dweeb.
Dweeb also technically accurate, but not one of the 3. All right, our separation at the beginning. Round 1, question 3. Your category is Televisiones.
TV.
Speaking of The West Wing, Elizabeth Moss played the president's daughter, Zoe Bartlett, almost 20 years before her star turn as what character in a dystopian television show that debuted in 2017?
We're
locked in quickly.
Yeah, we're right behind them.
I'm asking what character?
Oh, what character? Oh, now I remember it's off red, but now I can't remember her actual name.
I never saw the show. I know it's Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
There are 2 possible answers to the question.
Could it just be Elizabeth or Lizzie? I don't remember.
Let me paste
Rob.
the question for you.
Please.
If you give me a character name used in the show played by this character, you're going to be right.
I got a big jar of nothing.
I'm trying to understand what Jonathan just said.
Same name?
Could be. Her name could be Zoe.
Also Zoe.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
I
is it
spared
Elizabeth?
nothing.
I leave it to you.
We'll say she played an Elizabeth.
Okay. Luke and Michael, what did you guys say?
You started talking about Elizabeth Moss, and I was ready to drop Peggy Olson from Mad Men, but Michael and I only know her as Offred.
That's what we said.
There are 2 possible answers to the question. June Osborne is the name that she took later, but the original character name was Offred. So that is a correct
That's
answer.
the last name.
No, that's her name. I mean, last names would count, but that's her character name for the first season. That's why I said, if you name a character name used by this actor in the game or in the show, you're going to get credit.
I'm trying not to be like...
I was trying to be very openly directing you towards the answer that you said out loud, and I feel bad about it. But yeah, that is one of her character names for sure.
I mean, I know we're a famously and polite group. I would almost advocate we give it to Carmela, but that's I'm not the host, so.
I honestly, I can't.
Fair enough.
I tried to give extra verbal clues to bring it around, but it's not the right answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right. At the end of the first round, Luke and Michael have a perfect 30. Rob and Carmela have 10. And we're going into the second round where your first category is actresses. This question is brought to us by David Raffetto. Thank you, David.
Thanks, David.
At the 57th Academy Awards in 1985, Sally Field delivered her memorable "You Like Me" speech after winning Best Actress for her performance in Places in the Heart. But this wasn't her first Oscar. 5 years earlier, the Academy liked her performance in what film?
Michael, that's a better answer than mine.
It's the right answer.
Oh, even better.
So yeah, we're locked in.
All right, Michael and Luke are locked in. Over to Rob and Carmela.
What did she do in 1979 that she won an Academy Award for in 1980?
Boy. I'm just sitting here enjoying myself. Looking at the chickens outside my window, and that's about all I got right now.
Yeah. I don't know this one.
Flying Nun. No? Okay.
No. I mean, would she have won an Oscar for Smokey and the Bandit?
One can only hope.
I don't know. It is so bad for that you got partnered with me, Rob, because I don't know these things.
And you got partnered with me. Wasn't a lie.
I've been a trivia writer for almost a decade. You can't tell.
The movie went back in time. It was Mrs. Doubtfire, right? Okay, good. In my 90s, Sally Field, I can give you all the stuff.
Yeah.
80s, 70s, no.
Sybil had to have been the 80s. Like, not the early 80s, later in the 80s. I mean, that was a TV movie. But I don't know if they would give an Oscar for that.
Nah, that would have been an Emmy.
Yeah.
Or if it's broadcast on television, and be directly an Emmy.
Yep. So I don't know this one. We could say Smokey and the Bandit. Maybe
Do it.
Maybe she did something behind the scenes that she got an Oscar for. Oh yeah, we'll say Smokey and the Bandit.
I love Smokey and the Bandit, and that was my first thought too.
All right. They said Smokey and the Bandit. Michael and Luke, what did you guys think?
Turner, run it.
Guys, the correct answer is spaghetti. Duh. Jonathan gave you the hint before the show. Come on.
Beep.
Jonathan.
It's not spaghetti. You should be saying, beep, you, Michael.
This is, if you've ever seen, I'm sure you've seen a meme about it or a picture where she's holding up a sign. She's like advocating. She works in a factory and she's advocating for unions. It's Norma Ray.
Correct answer is Norma Ray. That was her first Oscar.
I can see the image of that now, but I did not know the name of the movie. So
yeah, I would not have gotten that at all.
Yeah, that might be a legitimate before your time kind of one right there, where it didn't maintain popularity over the years. All right, guys. Round 2, question 2. Your category is food.
Yummy.
Question comes to us from David Abalafia. Thank you, David.
Thanks, David.
It's David.
What casual dining chain has previously featured such menu items as the Art Vandelay, the John Coxteson, the Billy Baru, and the Pinky Tuscadero?
We're locked in.
Oh, no.
All right. Carmela and Rob are locked in.
Casual dining chain, so it's not necessarily fast casual. Wow. Pinky Tuscadero, that's the character from Happy Days, right?
Perhaps.
90% on that. These sound like sandwiches, don't they? Wouldn't these or a burger?
Yeah. I could see it being like a Jimmy John's, but maybe not. Like the reason I put the answer in the chat of Moe's is because I know they do a lot of pop culture-ish themed stuff.
Moe's is like a burrito place, right?
Right.
Okay. We had one here for a minute, and it is not here any longer. I never ate there. So
yeah, we had one like right across the way from my place, and it closed. But there's still like a location a little bit in Myrtle Beach. Yeah, they have a lot of like pop culture-ish theme because this was a question I feel like on BP Trivia a couple days ago talking about this kind of pop culture themed food.
I know Mod Pizza has pizzas named after some people sometimes. I'll lead on you, Turner. I don't know anything better, and I don't want to start swaying us away. Right. If these were like all like 60s and 70s themed characters, maybe I would go a different direction. But I've got nothing better than you've got.
I have no idea who John Coxteson and Billy Baru are. I've never heard of those names. I know Art Vandelay, obviously, but Joey Bag of Donuts is what I'm thinking of. That's what they had at Moe's.
I'm stuck on sandwiches, and maybe that's just because I haven't eaten yet today.
Wouldn't be something like Hard Rock Cafe, but that's not.
Well,
like
I was thinking
casual dining chain.
I saw the Pinky Tuscadero. I don't know if you guys have like an Ed DeBevick's down by you, but like kind of like that old school diner feel.
Right.
But the other ones aren't. I guess I don't know if they're old school characters or not. But
could it be like IHOP?
Casual dining chain. That could be anything. Not like an Applebee's or a Chili's or. I don't think I've seen these on a Chili's menu.
No, got about 30 seconds.
TGI Fridays?
Maybe, but again, like this seems like a theme to be named after people and characters. And if you're, I don't hate your Moe's answer. I just don't know any better.
I genuinely do not know. So Moe's is the best guess I got.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're locking in.
All right, you're locking in with Moe's, Carmela, and Rob. What were you guys thinking?
Really wish y'all said IHOP. The JC was my go-to whenever I went to Moe's. So,
nice.
Because it's hard to say John Cocktail stand, so we all called it a JC. It's a quesadilla at Moe's. So,
okay.
Welcome to Moe's. That is your correct answer.
All right.
This, Luke, you mentioned you had one for a little bit and then it went away. This played really hard at the live event. Neither team got it right. The whole audience knew it. But apparently there's no Moe's in Nebraska.
So I mean, I'm right on the Illinois-Wisconsin border. And when we first moved here, 10, 12 years ago, there was a Moe's and everybody was like, you got to have Moe's. And we're like, we're Chipotle people. And
they're all over Florida.
It didn't
They're
last.
all over the country. I checked.
Yeah.
No, it's there's no Moe's in Nebraska, and Moe's is below Nick. Like, he wouldn't be seen dead in a place like Moe's. So neither team had a shot at it, honestly. It was funny.
Okay.
All right, good job by both teams. We're going to round 2, question 3. Your category is nicknames the same. And this question comes to us from Maddie Kimberlin. Thank you, Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie.
Oh, by the way, Billy Baru is a Caddyshack character played by Ted Danson.
Okay.
Oh, no, not by Ted Knight, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say not.
John Cocktosan is one of Fletch's aliases in the movie Fletch.
Not a big Chevy Chase guy.
Are any of us really?
Chevy Chase is a big Chevy Chase guy.
Oh, he's a huge Chevy Chase guy. All right, here we go. Nicknames the same. A beloved fictional character introduced in 1969, whose canonical first name is Norville, and a singer who had back-to-back Billboard #1 mega hits in the year 2000, whose given first name is Orville, are both much better known by what 6-letter nickname?
Jonathan, do you have that train whistle nearby?
No, I got a hammer nearby. Whistle's downstairs. I'll give you a meow.
You're going to need 2 of those. Meow. I got it from the first part with Norville.
Right. Y'all want a 3, 2, 1 this bad boy?
Sorry.
Go for it.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Shaggy.
It wasn't me.
Mr. Bombastic.
So you're correct. The correct answer is Shaggy. Norville, Shaggy Rogers, and Orville, Shaggy Burrell. This led to, honestly, one of the greatest moments in Trivial Warfare history, and I wish everybody had been there to see it, because Zakia, who was one of the players in the game, says, y'all got to hear my Shaggy imitation, and proceeds to say, that is her Shaggy imitation. And then she went and proceeded to sing the song, and it became a full-on sing-along of It Wasn't Me, except for when it was Shaggy's words, and everybody would listen to Zakia's imitation.
That's incredible.
It was one of the funniest moments we've ever had.
As someone on Zakia's OQL team, I can tell you this happens a lot.
There's a short video in the Trivial Warfare Army Facebook page of Zakia, I think, standing up singing, and you can kind of, or I think there's a call and response of It Wasn't Me at one point, and I think there's a little video of that on the Facebook group.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're interested in being in that Facebook group, it is Trivial Warfare Army. It is not the Trivial Warfare Facebook page. It is the group. And it looks like at the end of the second round, it is 60-30. Luke and Michael have the lead.
All right.
We can do it, Rob. We can do it.
We can do it.
You can absolutely do it. Round 3, question 1. Your category is history.
History.
Of the U.S. presidents who did not die in office, which president had the shortest post-presidency before passing away? A fictional school named after this president once had a player score 4 touchdowns in a single night.
Oh, well, that's a hint. We're locked in.
This question was not
Of
written by
course.
me, but I failed to write down who wrote it, and I apologize with the most apologetic apology I can possibly apologize with. I'm sorry. Michael and Luke, you guys locked in?
Yes.
I think, yeah, yes.
All right. If you guys are locked in, Carmela and Rob can talk about it out loud.
You're probably right. I just know a lot of fictional high schools are named after that guy.
Fictional high schools, 4 touchdowns. Fictional school. So we're talking either TV, which would be probably Friday Night Lights, which I don't think it is, or it's Farsi Blues.
Remember the Titans? What was that school?
That's real.
Okay. Oh, that's T.C. Williams, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
High School Musical was basketball.
Right. Well, I can't pull either of those schools out of my head for Friday Night Lights or Farsi Blues.
I saw Varsity Blues, I don't know, 20 years ago, and I've never seen Friday Night Lights, so.
You should watch it. It's good.
That's what I hear. Waco is a fan. Because I was having a conversation with the guys from Hollywood Cast Connection, and Kyle something. I remember him from Early Edition. And he's like, you don't remember him from Friday Night Lights, which was like the biggest role he had in the last 15 years? And I'm like, no.
Early edition, the episode where there is a black mamba snake on the school bus will live in my haunted memories forever. Shout out to the 3 people who know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I only know him from that show. Okay. I don't know the answer.
Still going through the presidents in my head.
Yeah.
It might help your teammate if you say them out loud as you go through them.
I'm going through like Taft. I'm going through.
Taft lived for a while after he was president.
I'm just going through all of them.
And got Wilson from the bathtub.
Coolidge, Truman.
Coolidge sounds better. I feel like he's in the 1800s though.
Okay. So.
Texas related.
Arthur.
Arthur feels good.
Yeah, want to go with Arthur? Just for lack of a better answer?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to say Arthur.
All right, locking in with Chester A. Arthur. Michael and Luke, what were you guys thinking?
How quickly they forget the legend of Al Bundy, who scored 4 touchdowns playing at Polk High.
Very much children, really.
I only know Polk from the They Might Be Giants song because he was austere, severe, and held few people dear.
That is the name of the high school my dad went to in Des Moines, Iowa.
James K. Polk was the president who lived the shortest life after the end of his presidency. And yes, Al Bundy did score 4 touchdowns in a single game at Polk High School. The correct answer is James K. Polk.
I have not seen Married with Children since I was maybe 7. And I was not supposed to be watching that show.
Yeah, nope.
Well, that was just the hint. That wasn't the primary question.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is how quickly we forget Al Bundy. I'm like, didn't even really remember Al Bundy.
Alas, poor Bundy. I did not know ye. Okay. Round 3, question 2. Your category is language.
See?
The figurine with a mobile arm found in many Asian restaurants is known by what hyphenated Japanese phrase, which translates into English as beckoning cat?
This is where perfect goes to die in my favorite in my favorite Chinese restaurant. Yeah, let's lock that in and put us out of our misery, please.
All right, Luke and Michael are locked in. Carmela and Rob, you can talk out loud.
Well, Neko means cat. They're lucky cats. I think the first part begins with an M, but I can't remember what that word is.
I know Mizubi, but that's also Spam Mizubi, which is a food.
Yeah. Right.
Hawaiian.
Well, there's Mitski, but that's a singer. Mitsuki Neko. I don't think her name means beckoning. You're good.
I have a hard enough time with English.
Yeah. Okay. Megan Thee Stallion's new album has a bunch of Japanese in it. So, are any of those words the word I'm looking for? It's a great album. We might just have to say Mitsuki Neko, and I'm going to feel bad. They're lucky cats, Jonathan. Everyone calls them lucky cats.
They are lucky cats. Yes. They're beckoning cats.
Yes, but everyone calls them lucky cats.
The Japanese don't.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. The Japanese do not. They have an actual word for them, which is the word you're asking me for.
Yes.
We're just going to say Mitsuki Neko, and I'm going to feel really bad because I know we're close to it. I don't know the word, Rob.
It's okay. I don't know Japanese.
Well, you're right. You were very close to it. Michael and Luke, what were you guys saying?
Well, Japanese, not so great. I worked in a sushi restaurant, so if you were asking about fish, I would have this locked down. But we both knew that gato was Spanish for cat, so we figured it was appropriate to say domo arigato.
Domo arigato. Hello, cat.
But
we are mixing our languages. Neither team got the question correct. Yeah. Carmela, you're right there. Very close. It is Maneki Neko.
Maneki, okay.
Maneki Neko. Yep.
That cat is waving goodbye to our perfect score, Turner.
It is.
For you. Boo-hoo.
Just like this. Actually, with the thing in my hand, it makes me very, very good at doing this one particular movement.
Mm-hmm. The beckoning Carmela. Maneki Mela. All right, let's see if we can get back on track with round 3, question 3, with the category of music. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I was able to look up who wrote that question about Polk. That was Tyler Rosso. So thank you, Tyler. I thought it was a brilliant question.
It was a good question.
And really enjoyed it. Okay, round 3, question 3, category is music. Music. And this is written by Paul McLaughlin. Thank you, Paul. Whose name I will always pronounce wrong on accident. He's corrected me on it now. It is either McLaughlin or McLaughlin, and I will say it even if he's corrected me, but I still can't remember, and I say it wrong on accident. It is not on purpose. I don't know which one it is, and I'm sorry, Paul.
I have to pronounce it in my head, McLaughlin, so I remember how to spell it correctly.
Well, if it's a Paul music question, it's going to be punk or
metal.
Well, here's the question. After releasing a self-titled debut in 1991, and Now Is the Time the following year, what artist moved away from the dance pop sound of those albums and pocketed global success with her grittier sounding third album? Eep, op, or
Those sounds are typically either really good or really bad. I was wondering if that might have been it. Okay.
Yeah, we're locked in.
Good job.
Michael and Luke have locked in.
Rob, I like your answer for this because Alanis Morissette was really, really poppy when she was on Star Search.
Right.
And if, Robin Sparkles, Robin Daggers is basically a parody of Alanis Morissette's music career. So it's got to be Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, I was doing some research for a night, and I remember reading how her first 2 albums flopped, and then Jagged Little Pill came out, and it was her grittier sound, so it fits with all the mechanics of the question. So,
yeah, I'm good with Alanis Morissette for this, so we're locked in.
All right, you guys sing Alanis Morissette, Michael and Luke.
Yeah, I was struggling with it because 1991 was when I was fully starting to get immersed in music, and I was thinking dance pop. I don't remember a lot of 1991 dance pop that then got gritty all of a sudden. And then I looked closer at the question, and Paul was so kind to put in the pocketed.
Oh, yeah.
Or hand in my pocket. So yes, the answer is Alanis Morissette.
You did find the pocketed clue. The correct answer is Alanis Morissette.
I got one.
Yeah.
Good job.
Once again, this led to a sing-along in the live game. If you like sing-alongs, you got to come to the live Trivial Warfare stuff. It is crazy and fun.
SporkleCon in Chicago next year.
That's right.
We're ready.
All right. At the end of the round, the score is 80-40. Luke and Michael have the lead.
Okay.
Your midpoint is music as well. In fact, this is pairings. I'm going to give you two members of a duo. I want you to tell me what duo they form.
Okay.
Your duos are Amy Ray and Emily Sailors, Alex Paul and Drew Taggart, Big Boy and Andre 3000, and Walter Becker and Donald Fagan. For you guys listening at home, that's Amy Ray and Emily Sailors, Alex Paul, that's Pall, and Drew Taggart, Big Boy and Andre 3000, and Walter Becker and Donald Fagan.
Oh.
Ooh, the opposing team hates to hear that.
No, we want our friends to feel smart.
All right, you guys have about 30 seconds left.
I think we go with that.
I think so too. I think you're okay.
Okay.
All right, I need y'all to finalize your answers.
Okay.
We'll lock in.
Okay. Rob and Carmela, you got like 10 seconds.
Okay, so Indigo Girls, Chainsmokers,
Yep.
Outcasts.
Yep.
Don't know the fourth one. Is Tears for Fears a duo?
Let's go with it.
All right, Tears for Fears are the fourth one.
All right. Luke and Michael, tell me what you guys were thinking.
Yeah, my only contribution was Outcast, as I famously tell Kit every time she asks me for ratings. Like, if the music is not like after the year 2000, you might as well put me down for a 0. But Michael, you can take these. You had them. And our conversation was not about the fourth one; it was about the second one. So
Yeah, I was literally typing them out as Jonathan was saying them. First one is definitely Indigo Girls. My brother had that CD and wore out Closer to Fine for sure. I think there was something he was going through at the time. Not sure. 3 is definitely Outcast. 4, thankfully, I had on, I feel like a PTE network question. That is Steely Dan.
Oh, that's why Fagan sounds so familiar.
Right.
Okay.
And then, 2 we struggled with. We went back and forth on some names.
Savage Garden was what we started with.
I thought it was Savage Garden. I couldn't get them out of my head. And then Luke said, no, it's got to be more modern considering some of the other acts. And so we thought maybe Florida Georgia Line, but eventually we settled on Chainsmokers because we didn't know their names.
Your correct answers are Indigo Girls, The Chainsmokers, Outcast, and Steely Dan.
Wow.
Good we got 3,
Michael
Rob.
and
I got 3.
Both teams did great. I had already written down Savage Garden as what y'all were going to go with.
Right,
and then you're like, Florida Georgia Line sounds good. I was like, oh, cool. They're going to go with another wrong answer. It was at the very end of time that they came up with Chainsmokers. There was something.
Yeah, I recognized the names but didn't know the band, but Michael got it. It was great.
Coming out of the midpoint, it is 100-55. Luke and Michael have a commanding lead.
You have to say it like that, like commanding lead. Michael's like, yes, he absolutely
do you think
does.
it's not a commanding lead? It's a pretty good lead.
I do.
Luke and Michael have a pretty good lead.
a commendable lead.
There we go.
Adequate lead.
Respectable lead. All right, that is the end of the first half. Before we go on to the second half, I want to let you know that today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know what? We're coming up on Halloween. We're about a month away. And Halloween's about scary things, right? People love their scary movies. People love their scary costumes. But fear is no joke. Sometimes fear holds us back. Sometimes fear gets in our way. I know it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you too. We don't go to the place because we don't know what it's going to be like, and we're a little bit afraid of it, right? Let's not let fear hold us back this year. One of the best ways to work through fear is to talk to somebody about it. And talking to someone is where BetterHelp shines. You can try BetterHelp today. It's online, it's convenient, it's flexible, and it's really helpful. It was super helpful for me. I worked through multiple fears with my therapist on BetterHelp, and I am sure that you can do the same. Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Start today. Go to betterhelp.com/TWA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TWA. All right, let's get on with the second half of today's game. Round 4, question 1. Your category is in animals.
Animals.
There are roughly 100 black bears, found mostly in the islands along the rainforest coast of British Columbia. What is the name for these bears that have white or creamy fur, dark nose pads, and nearly white claws?
I think that's a sign, Michael.
Right? I mean, I'm not going to come up with anything better than that.
Nor am I. So
right.
we can lock in with that.
Okay.
All right, Michael and Luke are locking in Carmela and Rob. You guys can talk out loud.
I think I'm getting 2 bears. I'm trying to remember. All right, so let me try and tell you why I'm trying to figure out the name of this bear. So on the last season of Ink Master, one of the challenges towards the end that one artist gave another was to do like these like all white bears, not a polar bear, but one of these all white bears. And I think this is the bear that he's talking about. I'm trying to remember if it's called a sun bear or spirit bear. I know there's a such thing as a sun bear, but I think that is just a completely different thing than a black bear. I think these might be spirit bears.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any other thing.
None.
Okay.
I have been here to look pretty on a podcast, so I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, you're here for more than that, but
accomplished your mission.
You are here for more than that, but you're doing the pretty part very well. Do you want to try spirit bears and see how
Let's
they?
roll with it. I trust you.
All right. We're gonna say spirit bear.
All right, Carmela and Rob think they are spirit bears because they've got spirit. Yes, they do. They've got spirit. How about you? High school football season, y'all. Michael and Luke, what were you guys saying?
Yeah, so not to reference another reality show, but there was a season of Alone, the survival show, where they were here. They were on this island, and they talked about these bears, but I couldn't think of it. But then Michael and I texted each other at the exact same time, Kodiak, with a big question mark. And I don't think these are Kodiak bears, but that was the best we could get to. So we said Kodiak bears.
All right. So Kodiak bears versus spirit bears. I changed this question a little bit from the game in Detroit. I took out the descriptor supernatural. The correct answer is spirit bears.
Good job.
A good pull.
Really going, yeah.
It's weird what you learn watching, TV.
That's my problem. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore.
I don't either. I just watch certain things. I was like, oh yeah, there's a new season of Ink Master. Maybe I should check that out.
Network.
With the supernatural modifier in the question, both teams locked in immediately with ghost bears, and I confidently said, "I'm sorry, that's incorrect." And then I got actually'd by the crowd, where ghost bears was in fact an acceptable answer.
Oh,
which was why I pulled out the supernatural clue, because it's like, okay, well it's too easy to just guess ghost bears if supernatural's in there.
Poltergeist bear.
Getting actually by a trivia crowd sounds like an incredibly rare occurrence.
Yeah, that's never happened in the history of ever.
I want to see a cartoon about a ghost chicken called Poultrygeist. That seems like it's right there. Poultrygeist? Come on.
They've made that movie, I assure you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, you're probably right. Round 4, question 2. Your category is history.
History.
What Native American and Shawnee chief helped the British capture Detroit early in the War of 1812? Over time, he has become something of a folk hero for his efforts to resist American expansion into native territories.
Jonathan, we're going to lock in.
Oh, boy.
Okay, Rob and Carmela have locked in. Luke and Michael, you can talk out loud.
So I was super disappointed that I couldn't make it to SporkleCon this year in Detroit. My brother-in-law got married, and so I was happy to be there too. Detroit's kind of like an adopted home. My dad is from there, and I've spent a lot of time there. That's the reason for my Lions and Pistons fandom. All that being said, I have no earthly idea about this. The best I could pull was Chief Sitting Bull, only because of the second part, not so much because of the first half. And I don't know if he was. I have in my brain he's a little more recent than the War of 1812, but we really struggled even to come up with names in this region outside of that. So at the risk of being completely and terribly off, we locked in with Sitting Bull, or will lock in with Sitting Bull.
All right, Luke and Michael are saying Sitting Bull. Rob and Carmela, what do you think of that?
Sitting Bull is my second thought, by the way, Rob. Yeah, but we locked in with our first thought.
Yeah, this is one of those coin flip questions that I talk to my trivia players about, because sometimes there's people who go one way or the other, but it's 50-50. So I know I saw this I saw an article about this in Today in History. I always do a Today in History for my trivia nights, and the one I saw, but I'm starting to question my timing on it, is Geronimo.
Yep. And Geronimo was my first thought too. So that's what we went with. Geronimo.
All right. One team said Geronimo. One team said Sitting Bull. In this case, you would have needed a 3-sided coin because your correct answer is Tecumseh. Tecumseh is the Shawnee chief that helped the British capture Detroit.
Yeah, I think Geronimo was an Apache chief.
Yeah, you're probably right. I just went with recent bias.
No, I'm man.
Neither team gets credit for that one, so we're moving on to the third question in round 4 of the category of business.
Business.
What company, one of the largest employers headquartered in Michigan, includes brands like Amana, Gin Air, and Yumly in its corporate portfolio? I did pull out a few of the Michigan-biased, Detroit-biased questions out of this when I changed them, but we were writing a game in Detroit for Detroit, so there was a heavy Detroit influence.
Michael, it's been a while since we got a question right, man.
It's like after halftime, it's like my brain has left. I'm good with that.
Okay, we'll lock in, I think.
All right, Luke and Michael are locking in. Carmela and Rob, talk about it.
Yeah, I like what you are thinking about Whirlpool not being as big as GE, because I think that's true. But yeah, these all are appliances. I can't think of any other huge conglomeration that also does appliances other than GE. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I went through all of them in my head, just all their logos, writing them out in my head and everything like that. And as soon as you said appliance, I could see it on a dishwasher and things like that. So I would go with GE as well as a subsidiary.
Okay, then we're going to say GE.
All right, Carmela and Rob said GE. Michael and Luke, tell me what you're thinking.
We didn't think much different. I mean, I think Michigan, I think of a few things. I just typed in Amway out of the natural Western Michigan of it all, but looking at Amana, not Amanda is my autocorrect thought we should talk about. But General Electric rang a bell. I remember my dad would still does tell stories all the time about Michigan, and I feel like business General Electric came up. I just couldn't pinpoint it to Michigan, but we didn't have a better answer. Long story short, we landed on General Electric.
All right, both teams say GE. Both teams are wrong.
Yep.
Oh.
Your correct answer is Whirlpool.
Oh, no.
Whirlpool is an extremely large company, and they are the top-level company. They are not owned by anyone.
Wow.
That's...
You guys were there.
Wow.
I said it.
Rob's going to go hide in a hole.
I really thought Whirlpool wasn't that large.
No, it's a big. If you go dishwasher shopping right now, every brand you point at, the person says, "Well, I mean, that's a Whirlpool brand." Well, that's a Whirlpool brand, so they all basically work the same. It's like, oh crap! Can I have something that's not made by Whirlpool, please?
No. Apparently not.
All right. Well, that was a tough round for both teams. The only team that got any points was Carmela and Rob.
Yay!
The score after the fourth round is 100-65.
Coming back.
Round 5, question 1 in the category of sports.
No.
And this one's coming to us. Again, a second sports question from Ian Morrison. Thank you, Ian.
Thanks, Ian.
In 2024, former cricketer and current Oregon State Beaver Travis Bazzana was named Pac-12 Baseball Player of the Year. He then became the first player from what country to be selected first overall in the Major League Baseball draft?
That sounds good, Michael. I don't have a C comment there.
Fair enough.
I mean, that's the, for me, right, a natural connection, but yeah, of course.
There's a coin. I'm actually going to flip one.
Okay. I got a bunch of dice over here, too, if we need to roll for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm getting farther away with that one.
Help with black. There we go.
Did you assign someone to each side of that coin? Okay.
We'll lock in.
Rob and Carmela, you're locked in?
Oh, no.
Okay.
All right. Rob and Michael, you got about a minute and a half left.
Rob and Michael.
Yeah.
Sorry, Luke and Michael. I was multitasking improperly.
Fair enough. I mean, I hear cricket and I think India, but then I see the name Travis Bazzana and I don't necessarily think India. Michael said New Zealand, and then we started kind of getting into that part of the world, Australia, New Zealand, and then Michael flipped a coin. Didn't tell me which side was which, but I'm going to trust his flipping abilities here.
Yeah, I went heads Australia, tails New Zealand, and it landed on heads. So we're going Australia.
Okay.
All right, Michael and Luke are going Australia based on a coin flip. Rob and Carmela, tell me what you guys were thinking.
Yeah, we looked at the name Travis. Not Indian. I wouldn't say Pakistani either.
Yeah, the first thing I said is cricket makes me think of India.
Yeah, so let's go geographically. Pacific Ocean, Oregon. Easier to travel to New Zealand or Australia. We went with Australia.
Oh.
Both teams said Australia, and both teams are correct.
Hey!
Well done.
It's been a minute.
Coin flip.
Bazana. That's terrible. How do you do an Australian accent? Bazana.
If you say the words raise up lights, it sounds like you're saying razor blades with an Australian accent.
Razor blades. Bazana. Yep, terrible.
Crikey.
Crikey indeed.
Nar.
No.
Yeah, right? That's my favorite. Do you want to do this? No. No. All right,
Sorry,
round
Australia.
5, question 2. Category is Televisiones.
TV.
This question comes to us from David Abalafia. Thank you, David.
Thanks, David.
Though it has never won, what HBO series tied a record in 2024 with its 11th Emmy nomination for Outstanding Comedy Series?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, we're going to lock in.
Carmela and Rob are locked in.
Well, Curb came back, and I don't know of any other comedy on HBO that would get nominated 11 different times.
I mean, Veep, but they've already won. They've definitely won.
They've won, and I are they still making seasons of Veep?
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's why I ruled that out pretty quick. I just know that Curb came back for a season recently enough.
I think that's 100%.
All right, Curb Your Enthusiasm is our official answer.
All right, you guys say Curb Your Enthusiasm. Rob and Carmela, talk about it.
We both wrote curb, question mark,
Curb,
at the
yep.
same time.
As did I.
And I know that the final season was like within the last year. So yeah, it's got to be Curb. That's what we locked in with. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Correct answer is Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well done. That brings us to round 5, question 3. Your category is science.
Science.
There are only 2 elements on the periodic table who were named after a person who was living at the time of the naming. The elements in question are number 106 and 118 on the periodic table. For 10 points, name one of these elements, and for 2 bonus points, name both.
Ooh, I like that, Michael. Oh, I like that too. Oh no.
But it's the art living when
I know. Jonathan, do we get 2 guesses and or do we have to indicate which is our main and which is our bonus?
No, I mean, you get 2 guesses.
Okay.
If either one of them's right, you'll get credit for the 10. And if they're both right, you get credit for the
Thank you. Michael, I agree. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right, we're going to lock in.
I'm not going to come up with anything other than curium and Einsteinium.
Thor was alive? No? Thorium? No?
Oh, Niels Bohr.
No, I'm joking on that one.
Okay.
I do, one of the things I do is Elementium for one of my trivia ones, go over these weirdly named ones, and I give them the element, the number, and a hint, because they all end in IUM. Like there's America, and California.
Polonium, and yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely the first one you put, I was going for that one immediately, Einsteinium.
Mm-hmm.
And then curium was the other one you put. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got 2 shots at the 10 points. So, all right. We're going to say Einsteinium and curium.
All right, you guys said Einsteinium and curium. Luke and Michael, tell us what you were thinking.
Yeah, there's a lot of these that are named after folks, and Einsteinium and curium both came to mind, but those almost seemed like in memoriam, like they seem memoriam. There you go. There's another not IUM, but it kind of seemed like reverential, like kind of like a tribute to those folks. So we started dipping into what we remembered being kind of more modern, like Seaborgium and what was the other one that we didn't go with, Michael? Laurentium. We ended up going with Seaborgium and Meitnerium were our 2. 118 is way down there on the periodic table. That's towards the bottom, if I remember right.
I've never even heard of Meitnerium. That's new for me, and I wrote the damn question, which doesn't bode well for you.
No, it doesn't.
That's great for me.
However, Seaborgium is a correct answer.
Yes.
The other correct answer is Oganessian.
Ooh. Okay.
Wow.
Named after the Russian Oganesson.
Is that the 1? Is that 118? Is the
That's
Oganessian?
118. Yeah. Glenn Seaborg was a co-discoverer of plutonium and all the other transuranium elements through 102. And then Yuri Oganessian is a leading researcher into super heavy elements, and he discovered both Oganesson. It's actually called Oganesson. Oganessian is his name. And he helped discover tennessine. Yep, so Seaborgium and Oganesson. And that is the end of the 5th round with a score of 130 to 85. Luke and Michael still have the lead.
Okay.
Rolling into round 6, this is going to be the Clint Givens round. Thank you, Clint.
Thanks, Clint.
Thanks, Clint.
Every question here is written by Mr. Givens, and we appreciate it. All right, the first question is in the category of She's Only Just Begun. This 25-year-old singer-songwriter is having a moment. An opening act on Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, she notched her first Billboard #1 in June with Please, Please, Please. It comes right on the heels of the hit Espresso that peaked at #3. Name her.
We're locked in.
Meow, 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 meow.
Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah, we can probably 3, 2, 1 this, honestly.
All right. Y'all want a 3, 2, 1?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll take it, Luke.
Yep, you got it.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Correct answer is Sabrina Carpenter. When this question was written, it was probably a harder question, but literally every day she gets more popular right now.
Sure.
She's all over
She's great.
every social media now.
The Taste music video is fantastic.
And a fun note is that she is the quote-unquote other woman in Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes. Yeah, when you started reading, I thought for sure it was going to be Chapel Roan.
Chapel
because
Roan.
My daughter requested hot to go in the car as we went to grab some coffee today, and I'm like, I bet this is going to be a question today. And good job.
Sabrina Carpenter does a great cover of "Good Luck, Babe" by Chapel Roan.
Yes.
So,
Hey.
Thought we were talking about Girl Meets World. Sorry.
Round 6, question 2. Your category is not a Shania song. Suffering major shortages of qualified sailors during the Napoleonic Wars, the British Royal Navy fell back upon a long-standing practice of forced conscription, often by raiding commercial ships and seizing their crew, including thousands of Americans. One of the causes of the War of 1812, what is the common name used for this practice?
I think I got it, Michael.
Okay.
But if you think of something else, that feels good to me.
Okay. I'm thinking. Oh, yep. No, you're 100% right. Yep.
Okay.
I just got there.
No, that's cool. We'll lock in, Jonathan.
All right, they've locked in Carmela and Rob.
the only name I could think of for forcing someone in, to fight for you is conscription, which is in the question. And every Shania song I can think of is a bunch of words, and then none of them has to do with it.
Yeah, it's like not like Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Yeah,
That's the one it is.
like, just gonna call it Man.
It's still the one. International Waters. Man.
I don't know this, Rob. I'm trying to go from the Shania angle. Yeah, spaghetti.
That's going to be our episode title, right, Jonathan? Just
Spaghetti.
Episode 498.
I don't think y'all have said it enough.
Oh.
Force feed that spaghetti.
Mm-hmm. Is that a 7 reference, Michael? That was good.
Come on over.
yeah, come on over, guys. Come on over to this ship. I got nothing else, Rob.
Come on over. There you go.
Come on over.
Woof.
All right, you guys are saying come on over? Is that your locked-in answer?
Come on over, Jonathan.
Okay. That's a very polite way to force somebody into working for you as a servant.
Depends on your tone of voice.
All right, they're saying come on over. Luke and Michael, what were you guys thinking?
Well, that conversation don't impress me much. This is, I think, when we kind of got to that song title, the word impression came to mind. To be impressed into service is a thing. So we just kind of nounified it into impression. I'm not 100% sure, but...
we did talk about that. Don't impress me much, but I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. But when you explained it that way, Luke, as a teacher explains it to me, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Rob.
Rob's losing it. This is prime TV right now.
Right answer twice in there.
All right. So you guys said impression.
That was our final answer. Yeah, just to nounify the word impress.
All right. One team said impression. One team said come on over. As you guys were locking in impression, I started looking because impression is not the answer we're looking for. We are looking for press gang or impressment.
Oh.
Impressment is the word you're looking for. And I double checked. I looked. I said, is impression another way to say that? Is that interchangeable? Is there any way for me to give credit? And literally, the Google result, when I say, is impression another way to say impressment? No, impression and impressment are not the same thing. Okay. And I can't give credit for it.
Totally fair.
That sucks. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay.
You guys were right there. You picked up the clue. You got to impress.
Are you saying the answer is not come on over?
No, it's not. No.
I mean, if they had invited them over, perhaps they could have earned them with fair wages and a retirement plan.
Unionized,
right? They could have worked it that way.
Maybe Sally Field would have held up a sign for them.
Yeah. Could have, become Teamsters. It'd been great.
Round 6, question 3 by Clint Givens. Your category is television.
TV.
And this turned out to be a television-heavy game, much more so than it was intended. My apologies for that. That was not intentional. It is just what happened. The budding teen superhero Invincible, of the same named adult animation series, attends a high school whose flag displays the letters RVJ. For whom is this high school named? The person is also the voice actor for a minor character, the school's Principal Winslow.
Meow, 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 meow.
All right, Luke.
I'm setting
and
down
Michael
the phone.
have meow meows. I think they're locking in. I don't know. If they locked in yet.
Sorry. I'm typing it in. I just got really excited because it clicked.
Okay, there we go. Carmela and Rob, you guys can talk out loud.
RVJ. Actors with RVJ.
Johnson, Jameson, Jefferson.
Brian Nash would know this immediately.
Yeah.
He loves the show. Oh,
could
Jay be Jr.?
Could be.
So something Jr.
I know what the principal looks like. That's give me a little bit.
Principal Winslow, Vaughn, Bing, Vix, Vartan, Lou Gossett Jr. Robert Downey Jr., but that's our DJ.
We're thinking it's a male.
Yeah, that's just inherent bias. It might not be, especially if I think the J is a junior. I tend to would go male for that. Yeah, Roy, Robert, Richard, Rick. Now, if it was VR, I would say Ving Rhames. I don't know this, Rob.
I don't know it either. I've been not too helpful today.
Robert Downey Jr.
There you go.
Just for this one role, he it's like, known as Robert Downey Jr. There you go.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah. Unless you want to sit here for the next 10 minutes. Yeah, nope. I got nothing else for you.
I got no way to get to it.
All right, you guys have locked in with Robert Downey Jr., that famous actor. Luke and Michael, what were you guys thinking?
Once I got done meowing and typed it in, it all kind of clicked into place. And Michael and I were transported back to the early 90s, and we just started quoting Die Hard to one another. Like, I shot a kid. Just makes me, it's a terrible line, but it makes me laugh every time I hear it. John McClane's best buddy, Principal Winslow, is appropriately named because of Carl Winslow on Family Matters. Reginald Vell Johnson, my guy, is your correct answer here.
Reginald Vell Johnson is your correct answer here. And Winslow was 100% a clue.
I got stuck on Michael Winslow from Police Academy.
I got the sweeps, I got the creeps, and I got the bleeps.
Invincible is a phenomenal show. If you have a Prime membership, it's worth your time. Some really
my watch list.
All right, Luke and Michael finishing out strong with that question. Going into the gauntlet, the score is 150-95. Luke and Michael have the lead. Your gauntlet category: it's a work of art. And this is, for what it's worth, this is 100% a Jonathan written gauntlet.
Gotcha.
What are the scores one more time?
150 to 95.
All right, our wager's locked in.
Our wager is locked in.
Your gauntlet in the category of It's a Work of Art. Question 1. Art Alexakis and his band Everclear had 3 songs that charted on Billboard's Hot 100. Charting in the year 2000, what song charted highest for the band, hitting number 11 in the year 2000, which is redundant, but not a clue, just redundant. I reworded it in the original writing and forgot to fix it here.
I'll let you call it, Michael.
We'll go with yours. We'll lock in.
All right, we are locked in.
Question 2. In It's a Work of Art. In 1954, the Board of Directors of the Florida Water and Sewage Works Operators Association unanimously passed a resolution that what man be granted an honorary lifetime membership to the organization for his constant humorous reminders to the American public that sewage systems do exist.
We're locked in.
Oh, man. We're locked in.
All right. Question 3, and It's a Work of Art. Napoleon Crossing the Alps is one of the most recognizable works of what French painter who created the work between 1801 and 1805?
We're locked in.
You said Cézanne. I think that's my favorite of anything we've said so far. I mean, there's Monet, Manet, Degas. I don't know any of Manet's works. I think he's actually fairly similar.
Mayonnaise?
I hate that guy.
Mayonnaise works. I've never seen a mayonnaise work.
Sounds gross.
I mean, it is essentially food lube, so.
That just made it so much worse.
Oh, there's a show title for you. Food lube.
Food lube.
Prefer good aioli.
Man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why they start saying aioli now instead of mayo.
It's a fancy mayonnaise.
It's a fancy mayo. I don't know, Michael. I feel like we're missing somebody, but I can't. So Magritte, Cézanne. I think Rubens was Dutch.
Yeah.
Klimt, I think, was Dutch. Monet. Aioli.
Gonna go get a hamburger after this.
Do you want to get out your coin and flip between Cézanne and Renoir?
Sure. All right. What are we calling?
No, I'm letting you do it. It worked for you. I'm letting you run the process.
Head Cézanne, tails Renoir. It landed somewhere. It landed on tails, so we're going Renoir.
Okay.
We're locked in.
Beautiful. All right. We are coming back around to collect your answers. This is going to be a fun one. I asked you about Everclear's highest charting hit. Michael and Luke, tell me what you're thinking.
Go ahead, buddy.
Well, Everclear is actually a pretty big. I'm a pretty big fan of theirs ever since the first album with I Will Buy You a New Life, or the first popular album anyways. But yeah, I immediately went to Father of Mine. We had the exact same conversation that Rob and Carmela had. Luke said, I think Wonderful, because I don't really know a lot of their music, and that's the only song I can think of. And so that told me that maybe it was a bigger hit. So we said Wonderful.
All right. They locked in with Wonderful. Rob and Carmela, tell me what you were thinking.
Well, first I had to stop confusing Everclear and Everlast, because my first thought was What It's Like. And I was like, nope, wrong band. And so we're like, okay, so they're like 3 biggest things that we can think of were Santa Monica, Father of Mine, and then we came up with Wonderful. And we bounced back and forth with Father of Mine and Wonderful, and we did eventually land on Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And when you say you bounced back and forth, it was like coming towards the end. You guys were like, okay, it's this. What about that? And all of a sudden, the whole conversation changed.
Yeah. We're like, wait a minute. I remember this song now.
Yeah, both teams went back and forth on that one. It was great.
Yep.
All right. Question 2. I asked you who was honored by the Florida Water and Sewage Works Operators Association. Carmela and Rob, tell me what you were thinking.
Yeah, we were trying to pick up on the works of art clue. So we're like, is the person named Art? Are they an artist? And I was like, well, Art Carney was a comedian during that time frame. That sounds right. I mean, and then we kind of got mad when Turner and Luke started talking about the honeymooners. I literally wrote in the chat, get away from the honeymooners. I was like, no, not that one.
Rob started calling you names.
But we ended up locking in with Art Carney.
All right, Michael and Luke, tell me what you guys thought.
We had a much harder time with this. We were pretty sure from the jump it was going to be someone named Art or Arthur or Artie. And for the second time today, Turner gave me a person named Art that I didn't know who they were. I just knew the name, and he said Art Carney, and we kind of let that sit for a while. And then I started wondering, are there any like 1950s pop culture characters or comedians? And I brought up Ralph Cranven from the Honeymooners, remembering that he was a bus driver, and Turner said, I think Art Carney was a plumber on that show. So we ended up locking in with Art Carney as well.
All right. And then in the final question, I asked you which French painter painted Napoleon crossing the Alps. Michael and Luke, what were you thinking?
Go ahead, coin flipper.
That I hate French art. Not really French, just really art of any kind. I'm not a cultured guy. Yeah, we were just trying to name French painters, and we went through a lot of them, and Monet and Manet didn't really seem to make sense. There were a lot of mayonnaise jokes in between. Eventually,
we learned that mayonnaise is food, Lube.
We did. So
you're welcome.
Put
and
that
that's
on
the title of your show.
So yeah, eventually we had to. We picked two and we coin flipped and we ended up saying Renoir.
All right. You said Renoir. Rob and Carmela, what were you guys thinking?
I've had a lot of art questions. A lot of them from you tend to be like these like big, kind of classic, well-known paintings.
I think we don't have enough art questions, so I always try and
we don't, and you are correct. I'm really good with art, like theory, like techniques and how all that stuff works, but the actual history stuff is stuff that I struggle with. But I do remember, for a French guy, his last name, at least the way I pronounce it in my American brain, is David. So it's like French first name, and they probably pronounce it like David or something. But we're going to go with last name because I do not remember this guy's first name, and we're going to say David.
All right. So you guys both agreed on Wonderful and Art Carney, but you disagreed, Renoir versus David. So let's do question one. The correct answer, surprising me because I would have thought Santa Monica would have been number one. That was the one I remember being the most popular, but the correct answer was Wonderful.
Nice. When the non-music guy remembers only one song by a band, that's the way you roll.
And it was in the year 2000, so it does match up with your music criteria, Luke.
After 2000, I tell you what, that was when I was burning a lot of CDs. I made like a Luke Tunes volume, whatever, like every 3 months, and Wonderful was on 2 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that's what I call Luke.
Nice. Volume 7. Nice.
All right. Your second question, I asked you a lot of stuff, and this person basically humorous reminders to the American public the sewage systems do exist. Ed Norton is the sidekick on The Honeymooners, played by Art Carney.
Oh, man.
You said
he is a plumber.
You were giving him stuff in 1954.
Norton! Yeah. He was the Barney Rubble to Gleason's Fred Flintstone. Mm-hmm. So both teams got both questions right. It's going to come down to Renoir or David. I did not give you what might be this artist's most recognizable work, which is The Death of Marat. Both The Death of Marat and Napoleon Crossing the Alps were produced by Jacques-Louis David.
Woo!
David is a correct answer.
Good job, you guys.
For Carmela and Rob. The 1801 to 1805 piece there is a bit of a clue because David was a critical factor in the French Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
The Death of Marat was a painting that was one of the things that set off some of the action in the French Revolution. And so he was painting in the time, in the moment.
Yeah, that's probably where that stuck in my brain, is from the French Revolution side of it, not necessarily the art history. So
absolutely.
I'm like, for a French guy, that's not really a French last name, but obviously it is. I'm just Anglicanizing it.
Is Jacques-Louis not French enough for you?
I couldn't remember if you remember the conversation in the chat, I'm like, it's some French first name and David. Apologies to our French listeners. I don't mean to insult you. That's how it's stuck in my brain.
David.
So this does come down to wagers. Luke and Michael, you came in with a commanding lead. It was 150 to 95. What did you wager?
We blew it. We wagered, it was either 41 or 0, and we liked 41 because if we both missed, we would still cover their old score, even if they bet 0. So we wagered 41.
You wagered 41, which means you finished with 109. So before we know Rob and Carmela's wager, it's 109 over 95. Carmela and Rob, you guys needed to wager at least 14 to tie, and anything more than that is a win. What was your strategy?
Rob, I believe my words to you were bet everything.
Yeah. For the biscuit.
So we bet 95.
95 with a score of 190 to 109. Your winners are Rob Cotter and Carmela Smith. Woohoo! What a comeback.
I would like to thank Carmela for this piggyback ride through this entire game.
I'm stronger than I look. No, I'm kidding. Rob, you were great. You were fantastic.
And this is why we were a killer team down in Jacksonville all those months ago.
Compliments.
The four of you actually do make a really good team. Y'all would tear up some pub quizzes.
Now we need to defend our title somewhere in 2025.
There you go. I love it. All right. Great job. Great game, everybody. Before we go, we like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs and promote causes that they care about. Rob, you're on the winning team today, so we're going to start with you.
I would like to promote everyone's mental health. I'm a person who's been dealing with some stuff, and I've had a great group of people in the Trivia Warfare Wrestling group that have been very supportive of my journey this past summer. So take care of yourself, ask for help, talk. Those are the biggest things you can do because there are more people in your life than you know who are there for you, who support you, care for you, and love you. So,
amen.
Preach. Love it. All right, Luke, over to you.
Yeah, I will talk briefly about my wife's nonprofit that I talk about on every trivia show I go on, keepingfamiliescovered.org. They're a member of the National Diaper Bank Network. They do important work. Diapers are not covered by any federal assistance programs, and most state programs do not cover them. So that's why this work is so important. To piggyback on Rob, mental health, just physical, any health in general. If something hurts, go talk to your doctor. If something's weird, go talk to your doctor. As a bigger guy, I've been afraid to do that in times, and it's a thing that needs to happen. So please, if you're able, just go get things checked out. It will often and can save your life.
And for what it's worth, things that hurt can be feelings, and doctors can be therapists.
Amen.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
All right, Michael, over to you.
Not to triple stamp a double stamp like in Dumb and Dumber, but yes, advocate for your health. I can testify. A couple weeks ago, I got incredibly sick and did not want to go to the hospital, and my wife made me, and I was, not to bring the conversation down, I was about a day away from not being here, guys. My gallbladder had gotten out of control and was about a day away from being gangrenous and causing sepsis. So take care of yourself when things get bad, and I'm living proof. I'm still here.
Yep, and we are so glad that you are.
Listen to your body.
Thank you.
Listen to your body. Carmela, you earned your way onto today's show through a feat of action, and so I am including you. You get to do a shout out or promote a cause that you care about today as well.
Well, we're gonna keep it in the mental health game. I don't think I've made a secret of my various. I call it. I now have an alphabet soup of neuroses. I have lots of letters attached to me. So definitely take care of yourself. If you do need help, I know it's hard. Believe me, I know it's hard. I'm an eldest daughter. I know asking for help is hard, and there is no shame into it, even if it doesn't feel good. If you need help and if you need to reach out, you don't have to go through everything by yourself. And also medication, if it's right for you, is fantastic. It's amazing. Just take care of yourselves and go register to vote. Because if we would like to keep healthcare, we need to make sure that we have people who will help us keep it, so we can actually get help for these things. So yeah, that's what I got today, Jonathan.
Beautiful. All right, and that is going to wrap us up. So for Rob, for Luke, for Michael, and for Carmela, my name's Jonathan. This has been episode number 498 of Trivial Warfare, and we are celebrating our 2023 Jacksonville Trivia Takeover champions. Woo-hoo. This has been Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, Join the community and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit propodcastingservices.com.
With a final score of 190 to 109, your winners today are Rob, Carter. God bless me.
Welcome back, Carter.
What? It's like,
It's my
why?
wedding all over again.
Yeah, here you go. Oh, no.